started to get interested in, I would go see a jazz ensemble like this. Looks like their charts are sometimes long. They pulled out, I thought they were reading all of that. But actually what you're seeing is the spontaneous creation. You're hearing and witnessing improvisation, which is what we practice, what we listen to, and also our life experiences all going into memory, and then imaginatively we're reorganizing and concocting some kind of construct that you're then getting the benefit of hearing. We were talking about AI in the hallway before class. That experience and a process is something that is going to remain, no matter what happens with AI. Our ability to create memory, assimilate material, and reorganize it in a spontaneous way, it's similar to what the AI is doing, but it will always remain, ours. And the flesh that we create this sound with is also going to be unique and remain unique, So at any rate, you're getting to witness this kind of construct. You're getting to witness almost like someone painting spontaneously, or creating a sculpture spontaneously, or dancing. Music in many ways is probably the most abstract of art forms, because it's calling upon you to use your hearing sense. When we say often, I'm going to go see a concert. Well, there's not much to see. You're watching people manipulate tools. There's not much to that, but you're getting a lot of audio input, and that spectrum of our perception is quite broad. It's massive compared to what we actually see in terms of the color spectrum, right? The harmonic spectrum, the range of hearing that we have is very, very much expanded beyond our visual sense. We tend to get very drawn in by our visual sense. So you can feel free to close your eyes. There's really not much to see. You can feel free to close your eyes and allow that spontaneous creation and what you're hearing, all of the rhythms and so forth, just to kind of like take you on a journey, of sensation, of perception, and that's the benefit of this music, as opposed to if we go and see something that's wonderful but pre-composed, right? It's fixed. If you go to another performance, it's essentially going to be the same. I mean, there's a certain amount of variance in expression rendered by the performers, but in this context, if you were to come back tomorrow and watch, it would be completely different. The outer structure would be the same, but the improvisation would be completely different. So I want to make sure always when anybody comes to a jazz concert that they understand that they're witnessing spontaneous creation, and that's no small matter. This is the process of learning to improvise on an instrument is a lifelong process. Of course, we chip away at it. We give tools to make that journey maybe a little more efficient than it might have been 100 years ago. But essentially, the process of learning to improvise and to improvise coherently is a lifelong process. So you're getting to witness, I get to witness as a teacher over the course of different semesters, the development of someone's abilities to assimilate or reorganize and then offer material, right? So let's see, what I was going to say about the rhythmic aspect of Afro Blue, which John Coltrane is famous for performing, but he didn't write. Mongo Santa Maria actually wrote that piece. But the rhythm in this is characteristically African, and what we have is like a 2 against 3, or you could say 4 against 6, and that's very essential to West African music, is that kind of combination of 2 against 3. And maybe, Doug, can you play that one more time and like kind of maybe one time emphasize the 3 a little bit more? folk music, if you don't mind that term, folk music from any country, the indigenous music from any culture or country, generally tends to be more rhythmic and less harmonic. It's only our kind of European or European descent that brings in that harmonic element, to the picture. Most